Hello lovelies, and welcome to today's video. My name's Alya and I'm so glad you stopped by. So today we're talking about self-care. I know it's a little bit different to eyes, but I really thought it was an important topic that's not really that widely discussed out there. And I just want to take this opportunity to mix it up a little bit and also just broaden things we talk about here. I think that self-care definitely does relate back to our general health, and that definitely relates back to eye health. It's a really important and often under-discussed, undervalued topic out there. So stick around if you're interested. I think that today's Get Ready With Me little chat is quite interesting, just me chatting away and telling you my ideas and some things that I've been thinking about. So I hope you stick around. Today's topic is a little bit different, and today's angle of camera is a little bit different because my camera stand broke right in the middle of the last shooting. So you will excuse me for just a little while until a new one comes in the mail. So yeah, we'll get straight into it because today's topic's a little bit different. I thought we'll take a little break from eyes just for this week because I've just been really thinking a lot about self-care and how this topic is, it's highly discussed on Instagram and all that sort of thing. And I just really think that there's a lot of misinformation or mixed information out there, and also there are a lot of personal truths that may not necessarily apply widely and to everyone. So I really have been thinking about it a lot, especially this week. For some reason it's really come to my attention more than ever before. Well, not ever before, but specifically this week, and I really wanted to share. So for me personally, I'll just open up with my own kind of concepts first and sort of get them out of the way. For me, my idea of self-care is just remembering myself, saying thank you to myself. Because I find that in my life, I've got beautiful friends, I've got gorgeous sons, I've got amazing, mum and sister, and got amazing network around me. But sometimes you just need to really stop and reward yourself. Like recently it was Mother's Day, and my boys, being very young, did some beautiful artwork, and my oldest son, who's 8, nearly 8, made me a coffee and brought it to my bedside, and it was all very cute and very wonderful and things like that. But I'm the only one in my household who can actually go out and get a gift. Even so much so that at school they can get presents at like a Mother's Day stall, and they did do that. I of course paid for it, and they got me and Mum a present each, which was super cute. But it was, it was a tiny little token, and that's nice. And I'm not a materialistic person in that respect. I don't need things, to make me happy. But sometimes it's just nice to feel appreciated like that. And that's mine. So I've been eyeing off these shoes, these boots, in my favorite shoe brand, which is Charlie's Boutique, and I just went and got them this week. And you know what, for the first time in a really long time, I got myself something that I really wanted, and no buyer's remorse, no guilt. I just feel good about doing something for myself and, really marking Mother's Day. That's probably why I've been thinking about it the most, is that it's been such a long time where I go out and do something for myself, just for myself. No real reason for it, I just wanted to. And it's a really lovely feeling to have that that's something that I'm in the position to do for myself. Now, position is a really tricky term, right? You can be in the position in terms of finances, you can be in the position in terms of location, lifestyle, family position, all the things. So when I say that, I just mean that I can sacrifice a little bit from one area of my life to then spoil myself a little bit in another area of my life. By no means is there, any kind of spare cash or anything like that. I'm not going to go into all of that on this channel, but, I am a single mum. I've got 2 kids. I work my butt off, and I just felt like, it's a really important topic that a lot of women feel that just because they work really hard, none of that is for them. Obviously you buy yourself the essentials like food and shampoo, or, some women will buy themselves the right hairdresser or the right makeup or the right cosmetics, or that same shampoo. They won't buy the $5 stuff. In the supermarket, they'll go for the good stuff. That's great, but that's all health. That's benefiting your overall, appearance, the way you come across to the world. When it comes to dressing, a lot of women will, wear the same old thing for years and years and years and never kind of buy anything that isn't on sale. Like, I know a lot of stories of women who, unless they're going out shopping with their daughters and their daughters just talk them into buying something, just won't buy stuff for themselves. And I just find that so super sad. I think that no matter what your financial situation, if you're not eating, that's a different story, but if you can just put aside $5 a week and let it add up. You know, once every few months to get yourself something nice, like a little piece of jewelry. It doesn't have to be anything expensive or anything like diamonds, but just something to make you feel good, and to reward yourself for all the hard work that you're doing. Because at the end of the day, the way we treat ourselves as the matriarch of the family, so to speak, you've got to remember that however you treat yourself, whatever respect you're showing yourself, that's the respect and that's the attitude you're demanding from those around you. So if you're ignoring yourself and helping everybody else and looking after everybody else and not yourself, oftentimes what will happen is you'll become forgotten and you'll become the person that people go to get attention or to get help but never give. And sometimes that's okay, you know. I don't mind, obviously, when my two little boys who are tiny need so much from me. It's beautiful, and I love that I can be there for them and I can do all the things that I do. My mum still does so much for me, much more than what I do for her, for sure. She also is a caregiver of sorts to her parents, my grandparents. She helps out every level and generation of this family, and my sister and everybody. She spends heaps of time with her grandbabies. You know, it's wonderful, and I love that giving is also definitely a type of self-love, because it also kind of gives us a bit of our worth and things like that. But you don't want to get lost in that. And I think for a lot of women that I've been speaking to lately, especially over the lockdowns and things like that, you definitely get lost in the having nowhere to go and nothing to do. And all you are is constantly picking up, dropping emotions, dropping energies, keeping up with the schoolwork, keeping up with the housework, especially when, you know, everyone's at home all the time, making a mess all the time, more than usual. It was an absolute killer time. So, you know, everyone's emotions are now flat, everyone's exhausted, everyone just wants to go on a holiday basically, but not everyone is in the position to. And I think that there are definitely little things that we can do for ourselves that we don't need to wait for our friends or spouses or girlfriends to do for us. We can do for ourselves. So for me, it was a pair of shoes, because I'm obsessed. The last thing I ever bought myself was actually this palette that I'm about to put on back in January. So, you know, and it's just ridiculous that women in general feel so guilty. I find it so surprising, but not in a shocking kind of way, but like, I just feel like I just wish it wasn't this way. How many women don't allow themselves little gifts and little treats? They either wait for somebody to do it for them, which is lovely when somebody's thinking of you and, you know, doing something like that for you. But there are certain items that you would appreciate, that you would enjoy, that really nobody would truly feel comfortable getting for you. You know, we're not talking about a candle or a lipstick. We're talking about sometimes things are very personal, and, you know, your friends don't know to get you that thing. Like my friend recently had, another friend of mine recently got a property, which is awesome. So psyched for her. Anyway, but, you know, there are things that you just don't know what people need, or you don't know what people would want. You don't want to go out and buy them something that they don't need, or they don't require. So a lot of the time, being there for your friends is such another way that you can not only give them that self-care, but also yourself. I think that a lot of people have lost touch a little bit over these last couple of years. And that's another really great way to just have a little pick-me-up by reconnecting, by maybe call your girlfriend for a trip down to the supermarket. Like we do that a lot, you know, just tally up the times you go to the supermarket. At least you're catching up. You can stop for a coffee afterwards. It's not something you wouldn't anyway spend money on, but at least you're having that self-care again. Another thing that we regularly do, my sister and I, is get our nails done, which are very much overdue. But you know what? It's not the nails that we're getting done. It's the experience. We love the place we go. We love the girls that do our nails, and we love supporting them. We love the time we get to spend together while we're there. We love the chats and we call it a debrief that we do while we're there. There is no other time in our week, or in our month, I should say, where we would both intentionally come together and sit there for, you know, 1 or 2 hours talking. It just doesn't exist. And if it did exist, my kids would be there, or our parents would be there, or it would be, you know, with a distraction of something, or it would have to be over food, and that's a whole other expense. And I would keep on saying to her, this is a very big treat in my budget for the month, but it makes me feel so good. I feel like a different person stepping out into the world when I do it. My grandma raised me with the idea that, you know, you always have to be put together, because that is a self-worth, self-respect, self-reflection type of attitude to have. And that's true whether you're female or male. You know, you wouldn't go out in a dirty shirt and messy hair if you're a man either. You would want to, you know, fix up your beard and, you know, wash your hair and brush your teeth and put on a fresh ironed shirt. There's nothing wrong with having that kind of self-attention. I think it should be more encouraged, just generally, because don't you feel better when you've looked after yourself and not just everybody else? Now, everybody's feelings will be different. Some ladies, it'll be doing the dishes later or leaving them for another time, which will be the act of self-care. For some ladies, it'll be the exact opposite. It'll be not until they're done do they feel good about, you know, their environment and themselves. For some ladies, it'll be, you know, spending more time with the kids and sitting down on the floor and putting down a puzzle or something like that. For another lady, it will be getting an extra half an hour of sleep somewhere in her day and, you know, letting a friend look after the kids or somebody else look after the kids during that time. All of these things are valid. And I think that's where I'm getting at with this video, that there isn't one rule or one correct answer. I think that a lot of us were never taught. I speak very broadly, but this is just from, you know, years and years of talking to friends and even patients at work. I don't think we were ever taught to look after ourselves in that sense. We were taught to be put together for the way we outwardly appear to the world, sure. Sometimes that motivation was maybe a little bit two-sided in a sense. Like, yes, you'll feel good about yourself, you'll be received well, but is it for you or is it for the receiver? So, you know, I think that it's a really important thing to really sit down, you know, for 5 minutes. If you're into journaling, that's amazing. But if you're not, just for 5 minutes, just meditate on the idea of what is important to your self-worth. For me, I have long ago defined that all I need is a thank you. I don't need money. I don't need gifts. I don't need anything. I just need to be appreciated. If somebody that I've done something for says thank you, like a heartfelt thank you, that to me is the biggest gift of all. And I've learned that about myself a really long time ago. I've also learned that as long as I'm looking after myself and not forgetting myself, and doing things that I'm passionate about, that's also a really huge meditation for me. It gives me such an inner peace, knowing that I will be a better mum to my boys, I'll be a better orthoptist, I'll be a better restaurateur or entrepreneur or whatever it is that I'm doing that day, because I have given myself that time to really check in with myself. And that's just an amazing energy to realize about yourself. I think a lot of people don't realize it until they're quite elderly and they only see it in hindsight. So I think that especially for younger women, or, you know, for ladies who have just become empty nesters or ladies who haven't become mums yet, it's really great to define what it is that is really valuable to you and your inner worth. Because it's so easy to get lost in the world that you look after and forget to look after the inner world within your heart. All right, ladies, I hope that you enjoyed today's talk. I know it's a little bit different, but I've been itching to do things a little bit other than eyes. And I think there's a lot of topics that are so important. I just haven't really seen that many videos out there discussing these things and, you know, really going into these topics. And I thought it would be really great to get some of that conversation out there. And I really do enjoy the audience on this channel. I think that the engagement has been quite great, especially that it's very small and intimate at the moment, and I really love that opportunity of this channel. So tell me what you guys think down the bottom in the comments. Let me know what's your special way of, you know, gratifying yourself. What gives you your grounding? What do you do to find that every week and find that special energy to keep going with all the demands? You know, what's your special thing you do for yourself? That'd be really great just to share what other ladies are doing out there, other mamas are doing out there. I think it's really great to share these things. Don't forget to like this video if you did indeed like it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and check out Instagram to see all the really cool and wonderful things that are going on in my crazy world, and for lots of cute pictures of the dog and the kids. See you on the next one. Bye.